Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. This, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, is going to be my April TBR, which, let's see how many of these I get read, but let's first start off with just the one required read and then a new thing that I'm doing to help me tackle series, which we'll get to that and kind of that whole thing after. But my required read is Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly, which is the Book Addicts Anonymous, or BA's, group book for April. So BA is a queer book club that I run with Clint from Reads Reader and Lori from The Chatty Bookworm, and we have guests as well each month. And Love and Other Disasters is our April book. All I know is it is a book where it's about a cooking show, and so it's like these two contestants on a cooking show, I believe. One of them is non-binary, and it's just the relationship between the two characters. I don't fully know. All I know is it's about a cooking show. We were talking about this in the live show. There's something to do with fish tacos, flying fish tacos. And I've heard great things about this. This has been on my TBR for years. I think like before the book even came out. So I am very excited to read this. I probably will either get the ebook or maybe I might borrow the physical book from my library. But that is the absolutely required book for this month. And then the next thing is I'm starting what I'm calling the series jar. This is a little jar. It has my name and some books on it. This was a gift with some chocolates inside of it from Alicia from Books and Things with Alicia. And she gave this to me Christmas 2023, so thank you so much. I think it was 2023. And so I turned this into my series jar, which I have every single series that I have started that I am not up to date on the books, meaning there's at least one book in the series that I need to read. I put it in the jar. Each month I will pull out and I have to read whatever book is next in that series. And then obviously when I catch up, the slip gets removed. I picked this the other day because just so I could write it down before, so I will enter that clip now. So here is me picking from my series jar. It has all the series that I have started, so I'm just gonna pick one and I have to read a book in that series. So let's go with this one. Okay. Dark Olympus by Katie Robert. And so obviously I got Dark Olympus by Katie Robert, which I am up to the 5th book, which is Cruel Seduction, which is first of all, the Dark Olympus series is basically like a retelling of the like Greek gods set in this city, Dark Olympus, and it is very political, it is very spicy and really queer. So book 5's relationships are between Aphrodite, Hephaestus, Adonis, and Pandora. And so I've heard it's spicy. I've heard it's also very political, and so I don't really remember a lot of the political aspects, so this might be a interesting read, but I will be borrowing this ebook from my library. I know my library has the ebook, so I will just borrow it through them. And then I have 3 other books I'm putting on my TBR just because I want to try to read all of these. So the first one is Celestial Monsters by Aiden Thomas. This is the 2nd book in the Sunbearer Trials duology, so it's also the series finale. I'm currently halfway through the Sunbearer Trials. I'm filming this on the 31st, so I won't get it finished before the end of April, but hopefully I'm hoping like within the first week of April to get the Sunbearer Trials done so I can read Celestial Monsters, which the first book, which I could grab, but I'm not going over there. But the first book, the Sunbearer Trials, basically every 10 years there is this competition between the children of the gods, so like the demigods, And basically it is about trying to refuel Soul's power to ward off the evil that is like lurking around the world. And we are following Teo, who is the son of Quetzal. He is also considered like a jade, which there's different ranks of the gods and therefore demigods or semidios as they are called. And jades are never picked for this competition, but Teo is, along with another jade. And so it's just him navigating these trials and all of that. And then this first book left off on a very big cliffhanger and plot twist, so this I'm very excited to read. The next is Lore Olympus Volume 7 by Rachel Smith, which this is the 7th book in a graphic novel series that is basically, it's a Hades and Persephone retelling set in like the modern time, and I really like these. They're quick and easy reads. You can just pick up where you left off months later and it's fine. And so I need to read this. This one, it's on Webtoons, but it's being bound up into physical copies. I was reading them on Webtoons as the like bind-ups were being published, but Volume 7 was published in October and obviously it's April and I haven't read it yet. So I will be reading this on Webtoons, but counting it as the full book, if that makes any sense. And then the final book that I've been saying I'm going to finish since September is Rising Dawn by Beck Michaels. This is going to be on every single fucking TBR until I finish it, but this is the 4th book in a upper YA fantasy series where we are following Dinah, who every 10 years in her village, this shadow thing attacks the village, kills a bunch of people, and in the last cycle of this happening, it killed her mother, her father, and her brother, leaving her, her sister, and her grandma as the only survivors in her family. And she's now found about this possible way to find a way to banish this shadow thing. And so she goes on this adventure with what starts off as with her cousin Zev, who is a werewolf, and then they meet a celestial named Cassiel on the way. And this is about 18,000 miles in another direction from that, but I can't say what's going on in this because of spoilers. This, I am reading the ebook on Kindle Unlimited, but I figured I had the physical book, might as well hold it up. But yeah, that was just a quick thing of all the books I want to read in April. We shall see if I get any of them done. I have read one full book, and then like I'm halfway through 2 books for March, so maybe I can actually get maybe like 2 or 3 of these read. We shall see. I'm also trying to incorporate reading more into my routine, as I think I now have a routine settled. Maybe it's at least the start of a routine. We'll see. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what is one book that you want to read in April, or if you have read any of these, and what is your thoughts. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps my channel grow, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!